All right, everyone. Well, hello, happy Sunday. My name is Candice, as you guys know, Coach C, and I am the founder and CEO of Nogapconsulting. But I am here to introduce our final keynote speaker coming up for Intentional Leadership Conference, which, if you don't know, Leadership Conference is for if you are an aspiring leader, if you are brand new to leadership, or if you have a little seasoning underneath your belt, like myself, that have been in leadership for a minute. Sis, this conference is for you. Make sure you get your tickets. All week there will be a promo code for intentional for you to get a percentage off. So make sure that you get your tickets. You tell your friend to get your tickets. You tell your peer to get your tickets. Whoever it is that you feel that needs to be in this room, because we are going to be talking about topics that are key essential for our identity as Black women in leadership. We have seen the dismantling of DE&I since this week across a lot of corporations. So it is more important than ever for us to take control and hop in the driver's seat of our own leadership growth. But that is not all what we're here for. As you can see, I have NP Danielle here. Hello, girl.
Hey, happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday. All right. My first question that I've been asking everybody, if you were driving across country, what is your playlist vibe?
Playlist vibe. I'm going to go with a little bit of some Jill Scott.
Okay.
Then it depends on if I need to get a little bit of energy, because on a road trip, sometimes you get sleepy. So then we got to go with a little bit of Caribbean soca music to make you think at Carnival, a little party going on in your brain so you can keep on driving. And then let's see what else. Who are my favorites? Sometimes you got to put on a little Beyonce, get a little woman power in there.
Are we talking about now Beyonce, country Beyonce too?
I hadn't jumped on that train yet, to be honest. I'm sure I'll get there. I honestly haven't had time to even listen to anything new from her. So I'm going back to classic Beyonce,
Okay.
Ladies,
Okay.
But hopefully I'll get on that train soon.
I love some Beyonce. Everybody at work that says something, they're like, we had this whole thing going a few weeks ago where some of the people were like, oh no, Riri is better than Beyonce. And I was like, do not get disrespectful.
That's right.
Okay. So some Jill Scott, so neo soul into some SoCal, and I think you're about to say one more.
Yeah, you got to go old school. So a little bit of if you don't get too sleepy, little Boys to Men, Anthony Hamilton, like a nice neo soul R&B vibe. That's usually what I'm listening to.
Okay, I'm here for it. I am here. I love the 90s. I wish they would some of that back.
Right?
So now that you got your playlist, what is your go-to road trip snack that you have to have?
Road trip snack. Right now my go-to would be some dried mangoes. So I'm a health person. So you want to make sure you get your fruits. Some nuts. So I usually have a container of bagged nuts at my desk. So that'll probably be on the road trip. So a little bit of some cashews, some peanuts.
Okay.
Get those good omegas and get some healthy skin and nails while you're at it. Water, because that's essential. Water is life. So some water. What else are my favorite snacks? Well, I have children, so they're usually asking me for snacks too, but they love some gummy bears. So I'm popping some of their gummy bears too. So those are probably the main things that I have.
Is there a particular brand? Because I'm very particular when it comes to a gummy bear.
So there's a few. I mean, if they sell them in like a Sprouts or a Barron's, we're usually down for it. So we tend to go with the more vegan, not a lot of artificial dye type gummy bears.
Okay.
That's our thing.
Okay. All right. Look, I'm gonna have to ask you about what type, what brand, because I'm definitely trying to get away from the artificial colors and
Yeah.
everything like that.
Yeah, as soon
Not
as
that
I think of it, I'll let you know. But yeah, they got some good ones out there, and you're like, "Ooh, that tastes good."
right.
Without all the
So,
toxins.
what made you say yes to being a part of Intentional Leadership Conference?
Yeah. Well, first of all, you're just wonderful personality, and I love what you're trying to do with seeing more leaders. We need that, but a lot of times with leadership, people tend to be afraid to step into that role because they may not have been mentored or felt like something wasn't for them, and not really understanding the politics of how different industries run. And sometimes, sis, it's not you, it's just
Yeah.
how their industry runs. So being able to encourage others that although it might feel difficult right now to feel like you're a leader, those adverse situations are actually what's going to make you stronger. And when you're in that leadership role, it's like, okay, I've been here before, I got this. So being able to just kind of share some of those experiences and encourage other women to do the same.
Yeah, I think you hit like the nail on the head when you're like, sometimes you just don't know. You don't know exactly what you're facing, especially when it comes to being a woman of color, particularly a Black woman. There are unique systemic barriers, those invisible systemic barriers that you really don't get trained on.
Right.
And whenever you're faced with this, sometimes I felt like I used to go into shock. Like I didn't know really how to handle it
Mm.
on that until afterwards. Was like, okay, now that I've experienced this, what because I know that you own practice, what kind of motivated you to get in the driver's seat of your own journey?
Mm. Um, a few things. I mean, to be honest, being marginalized as a Black woman,
Mm-hmm.
showing up and being offered, lower pay, things that you would be like, what? That's not what the pay scale says, right? Or
Mm-hmm.
being called things like, I've worked for institutions in healthcare where, when you're a nurse practitioner, they like to use the role mid-level provider as if we aren't doing the same things as our physician partners. And so, I've been in situations where I'm seeing almost the same amount of patients as the doctor, but they're calling me mid-level and giving me half the pay. It was just like, this doesn't seem right. It doesn't feel good in my
Yeah.
gut. Um, and I honestly had a situation where I was hospitalized and had a serious maternal issue in the hospital, and felt like if it wasn't for the Black OBGYN who stepped in and kind of saved the day, I may not have
Yeah.
been here. So it was that situation that kind of pushed me to say, you know what? My patients are telling me what's happening to them when they see other providers. They're frustrated. I'm hearing all these hospital stories. We see things on the news about, maternal mortality crisis and the health disparities. There's got to be a better way to do this. It's hard enough fighting for your patients and doing well by them, but when you have to fight for your patients and fight the institution you work for, you come home like bloodied head, sweat, and like, okay, I can't take it no more, right? And so
Mm-hmm.
those were some of the inspiring things that pushed me to
Mm-hmm.
help found and own IWC Primary Care. But honestly, it was the mentors that I had around me who would push me and say, "You got this."
Yeah.
I felt very supported and encouraged to go forward.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that what you just said made me think about 6888. I don't know if you saw
Mm,
the movie,
yes, I did.
but when Kerry Washington mentioned in there, whenever her commander came in and wanted to take it from her, and she
Hmm.
said, "We are fighting the war inside and outside."
That's
And
right.
when you just said that, it made me think about that, because even watching that movie, I know that it's telling their story.
Hmm.
However, it was so relatable to the times. Even
Right.
what you just said right now, having to really fight to say, you know what, wait, that doesn't make sense when I'm looking at this pay scale. and the pay scale says this, but you're offering me this, this lower amount. Because sometimes too, negotiation, that's something too that we're not really taught how to do. We're just, okay, we accept it. Well, yes, we can accept it if you're barely beginning, but when you got some years underneath your belt, though, that type of amount, you have to say no and be okay with stepping away from that.
That's right.
What was like a time that you made a tough decision because I'm going to sit there. You are a leader in your industry. you are a leader. To me, go into the facility. I'm going to do a plug here. If you guys have never been IWC primary care, you all need to go get an appointment there, because just the way the facility, I didn't know that they existed until Black San Diego had it on there. A lot of people were posting about them, but going out there, like, it literally makes me want to hop ship to go from where I'm at to them, because just the amount of technology, but just the time that was even spent with my tour, like showing me the different things that I had no idea about. But I know I'm kind of going on a tangent here. Back to what I said. Can you share a time that you had to make a tough decision as a leader when it came to healthcare?
First, thank you for your story and your plug. That's, really why we exist, is to make healthcare not be so scary, make it not combative, right? It should be a comfortable place where you can come learn about your body and be able to advocate for yourself. So I appreciate your words. It really means a lot. And we are definitely very blessed to be putting in this work. Times where I'll tell you about a time when I didn't stand up for myself when I should have. And it was my first nurse practitioner job. I was offered one rate. And then when I actually showed up on the first day of work, they actually lowered that by $5 an hour. And I was like, hold up, wait a minute. Like, I'm here, scrubs on, ready to go to work. And that's what y'all deliver. All right. So, I took that anger and fueled it into, okay, I'm going to sit here. I'm probably not going to be here long, but I'm going to soak up everything y'all in here doing. And I'm going to take this knowledge and move on when the time is right. And now I do stand up for myself.
Yeah.
So I've been in situations where you may have like a school, like a NP school or a PA school, wanting to bring students to shadow. And, that takes extra time and effort to teach the next generation of providers. And so there will be schools that, we were hoping you would do this out of the kindness of your heart. And it's like, that's cute. But, when on those days when the student is here, I have to see less patients so that I can make time to educate and make sure they're up to standards and check off their work and be present with them. No, that's just not acceptable. Or I've had different institutions ask me to come and speak for different things for their students and teach about this or teach about that. And I'm learning to be more firm. Like, my time is now valuable. There's a wealth of knowledge that I have that I can share that will help your students propel themselves into advanced providers. And you can't shortchange that. I'm sorry. So until you come correct, no, thank you. I try to be pleasant and respectful, but no, thank you. And that these institutions are giving, other institutions, usually that look like them, big amounts of money. You see the students' tuition, you look at their campuses, y'all are doing just fine. So you couldn't spare a little bit of an honorarium for my time. To me, I call that disrespectful, especially when you have it. And I know that you're giving it to others. So it's probably because I'm Black and a woman. I can't say for sure, but no, thank you. That's all.
Yeah. Look, we have to go back a little bit. Why did you not speak up whenever you got there and it was $5 less? Because $5 less, I mean, I know we talk about pennies on the dollar when we get these little raises once you're locked in. And so $5,
significant, right?
Penny.
Yeah. I think part of it was just the excitement, getting my first NP job and being able to be a provider.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then the other part was just, you set yourself up to like, okay, I'm going to do this. And if I walk out of here, then what? You feel sort of defeated, not realizing that you can kind of put some other things in place to move forward differently. So I think the emotions of and the attachment of, well, I gotta start somewhere, kind of
Mm-hmm.
held me back from speaking up in that instance and fighting back for my $5.
Yeah, need to go get that $5 for all them
Right.
years. Be like, no. Is there such thing as reparations when it comes to that? Like,
Okay. Give me what I'm owed. Thank you.
okay. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's true. Like sometimes if we don't understand like our identity and what our worth is, especially
Mhm.
stepping into these roles, we will just take whatever. And I
Mhm.
know for a fact, because I've seen it firsthand, where counterparts who necessarily don't look like me, they will stand their ground,
Yes.
and it's very interesting to see, because 9 times out of 10 when they do that, they end up getting what they want.
Mhm.
And it's almost in the sense of saying, like, if I were to do that, it's that for me, it's always been in the back of my mind, like, well, I don't want to seem aggressive, I don't want to seem mad, because that's instantly where they try to go. Or passionate is also another word that they're starting to put in that category when it
Right.
comes to angry Black woman. But it's that in the back of the head, like, oh, I don't want to see that, and so now I'm not showing up authentically myself.
Mhm.
I'm just people pleasing and saying, okay. It almost
Mhm.
made me think about coming to America, whatever you like, whatever you like.
Right.
I don't know why I just thought about that, but it literally, because you get to that space where it's like, okay, I'm just taking whatever, but at the end of the day that you're worth so much.
Mm.
Um, Switching gears a little bit, because I love to hear everybody tell me, when it comes to a car, what kind of car would you be?
Ooh. Hmm. That's a good question. So I'll caveat by saying I'm not really into cars, so I really got to think about this.
Uh-huh.
Um, I'm gonna have to be a car with a lot of seats because I tend to want to bring people along and, oh, you need help with this? Come on in. So I'm thinking like, a Suburban or a Range Rover with a lot of seating in the back.
Okay.
Um, But then it's gotta be like a nice smooth color, like a royal blue or,
Okay.
something calming, because I tend to bring the calm in the middle of the storm. That's what I've been told about myself. Um, but then I also have that little, I won't call it a rage, but like a so
Yeah.
something that can go fast in a
Yeah.
second if I need to. So I need to be able to
Okay.
have a good speed to it. So, like a Suburban, Range Rover, something like that, and I can get up and go.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I was talking with GN, and her car. I had to go Google it because I was like, whoa. And it was up there. But for me, I told her the same thing. I was like, I don't know. It's just something always about a Range Rover that I've always said I wanted. It's just very
Yeah.
sleek, classy. I know
Yes.
even the newer bodies, they still look sleek and classy. But yeah, I'm not into cars like that either. But
Uh-huh.
it's just so interesting to hear everybody's answer and the reasoning why they would do it when it
Uh-huh.
comes to this question
That's a hard question though, but I like it.
on
Nice
there.
sleek car.
Because I know we are coming to time, without giving people too much, just a little teaser of what you'll be speaking about at Intentional Leadership Conference.
Mostly about health and where that plays a role. Sometimes when we're trying to climb corporate ladders or get to an end, we sometimes forget about ourselves. And you got to remember, if you're not there, they'll just replace you. So we got to take care of ourselves, our bodies, our physical and mental health, because they all wrap and circle around together, to make sure that we are one whole person, so we can give 110% that we're probably already given, but that we don't burn out. So some tidbits on that, some tidbits on what to do to protect your job if you feel like you're under pressure and mentally you feel like you're going to explode, what to do to protect yourself. We're going to get into that too. And how your primary care provider, like an NP, a PA, an MD, can help with those protections, but you want to make sure you have a provider that sees you and isn't just going to be like, oh, go on back to work, you're good. You just trying to take some time off. No, we want to be seen, sis. So you want to make sure your provider has your back.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Because there are so much things that I'm pretty sure people are not aware of that that they're protected by. But you just have to have that provider, like you said, that cares and that sees you, where you don't have to fight to be seen. They actually see you.
Right.
On that part. So on that note, y'all, we are going to end this here right now. As I mentioned before, Intentional Leadership Conference, it actually kicks off this Friday, where we are starting with a hip hop cardio class, followed by our sponsors. One of our sponsors, Fuel Thy Cells, will be sponsoring us with some CMOS drinks afterwards, because we need to fuel ourselves after we have released all the stress of the week. And then Saturday is where you will meet myself again with MP Danielle, as well as the other keynote speakers. That is where the meats and potatoes is. You can either get the VIP ticket for all 3 days, or if you just want to come the day of on Saturday, that is available too. And if you're not in the LA or San Diego area, you can also get a virtual ticket to join virtually, because we are not just keeping it here in Cali. I do believe that this conference is something that other leaders that are not here within the state of California can use, because we are all about being intentional in 2025, especially leading into the best month of the year, Black History Month.
Yes.
What way to kick off your Black History Month by attending Intentional Leadership Conference. If you do get the VIP ticket, we do have a VIP brunch on Sunday, where we are ending it out with one of our keynote speakers, Mariah Jameson. Some of you guys may know her with San Diego Community College. She is on the trustee board there. So I say all of that because I've been talking too much, but get your tickets. That's what I want to say, is get your tickets. Again, promo code intentional is going to be all this week for the general admission as well as the VIP package. But other than that, we will see you on Friday.
Yay.
Bye, y'all.